Hey, howdy, hi, hello, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today, we're gonna be reacting to some Alton Brown. I know, very surprising. Um, yeah. Specifically, Alton Brown Cooks Food, episode 27, SnapperDome. So, I was trying to find something to react to, and I decided that something food or cooking based would be fun. So, here we are. Anyway. Today, I'm going to the Texas Roadhouse for the first time. So I figured, eh, might as well carry on the theme, I guess. I'm gonna find out if the rolls and the honey butter are overhyped or not, like I've always thought they were. Because, as far as I know, it's just rolls and honey butter. Like, you could do that at home whenever you want, really. But I'm gonna find out, I guess. I will talk about it in my next video, hopefully, maybe. Anyway, let's get into it. Speak, Mr. Brown.
Whole fish.
Yes, whole fish.
Just gorgeous, isn't it? In this case, the subject is Lujanus capicanus, aka the northern red snapper, the only variety of snapper that can be legally labeled simply as red snapper in the United States. Now,
Very
fish
interesting.
like this, in my opinion, is at its best when served whole. It's cooked simply and delivered in its entirety to be collectively consumed, preferably by fingers alone. I mean, mouths, but via fingers. Of course, I realize that cooking a whole fish, any whole fish, can be intimidating, especially if you haven't done it a lot. After all,
yep, I have only cooked fillets personally.
I mean, it's looking right at you. It's
what have I done?
Daring you.
There we go.
Questioning your skills, perhaps judging you, probably judging you. I know I would. So, when facing such a critter, it's normal to feel a spot of pressure, And so the first thing we need to do right up front is to consider our cooking options very carefully.
Yes, okay. Oh, pretty nice B-roll footage.
Grill. Rustic, romantic, potentially delicious, but also potentially hazardous because look, whole fish are just so gosh darn easy to overcook. They can split. They can just like burst into flames. And even if they don't, their skin is notorious for fusing onto grill grates. So nice, but not today. Say, what about a deep fat fry, huh? I mean, that's delicious, but this is really risky. You'd have to batter the whole fish to protect the skin from blistering. And seriously, the service to mass ratio is just all wrong here. The outside's gonna burn before the inside's done.
Yep.
Besides, it would end up looking like a deep sea crouton. Not that that sounds terrible, but it is really hard to carve at the table. So, how about the broiler? I mean, it's not as tricky to control as the grill, right? But it's still real easy to overcook the higher parts of the skin that are closer to the broiler, and you're gonna have to turn the fish over several times. There's just got to be another option, a better option. I mean,
just the general oven,
roasted in the oven, right? Huh? I mean, it should be the simplest thing in the world, but let's just talk about what really goes on in here. I mean, the box, regardless of the heat source, it gets hot, right?
Yes, my magical heating box.
Heat travels as radiant energy from the walls, floor, and ceiling to the food. And then there's air convection, the actual movement of hot energized air molecules. Now, when these two energy forms make contact with the target food, the heat penetrates, from the surface in via conduction. Now, it seems cozy and traditional and perfectly fraught with issues. I mean, even if we could just count on the radiation to get the job done, the convection takes a vital hostage in the form of moisture. And when it comes to cooking fish, we kind of want to maintain as much of that moisture as we can. So ideally, we require, an enclosure of some type. Oh, sorry.
Ouch.
More specifically, we require a vessel that can take the heat of the oven, slow it down, gently dose it out evenly to our fish, while of course restricting convective contact. This means the
This
vessel
is
ideally would
so
conform
many
as close
things.
as possible to the shape of the fish. And I don't really have anything, shaped like a red snapper in here. Because I know what you're thinking, because I've already thought it. What if we just wrapped it in a few layers of aluminum foil, right? That would certainly tightly entomb the fish. But remember, aluminum is a very efficient heat conductor. So although
Yeah.
it can prevent convective contact and hold moisture in, it
It's still
doesn't
gonna get
slow heat
hot
down
and
really at all.
kind of
Well,
overcook.
ideally, we need something that fits like foil, just made of something insulative. Maybe something even a little porous, because that would allow us
Like
to introduce more
ceramic
moisture if
or
we
stone or
wanted to.
something.
Mineral-based would be nice, like ceramic,
Yeah.
right? For
Yeah.
insulative properties. But whatever it is, I don't have it. But I know that we can build it. We just need a little bit of mortar. No, not a hard bowl-shaped container in which substances are crushed or ground into powder using a tool called a pestle, nor a short-barreled cannon used to fire shells at high angles for short distances. No, I refer to a workable paste used to bind, building blocks together, things like brickstones, things like that. Typically, that would be a mixture of sand, water, and cement, but we can also produce one a little more appropriate to our edible mission from mere kosher salt, egg whites, and water.
Oh,
So,
okay.
join me, kids.
So
We
just
are
a
going to
salt
build
crust.
SnapperDome. One fish enters, four meals
Oh,
leave, depending on how hungry you are. But before we build,
I could
trim.
probably eat that whole fish myself.
Step
Okay.
1. Crank your hot box to 450 degrees. Roast or bake, doesn't matter.
And now we
As you
begin
can see, our
construction,
snapper
I think.
has already been nicely and professionally drawn, meaning that it
Yes.
has been eviscerated,
It's been
scaled,
gutted and
instead of
scaled.
removed. Now, if the head and the fins were also gone, then this fish would be dressed, but they're there, so
Yeah.
it's not. Now, since these fins are really kind of just in the way, I am going to trim them all off, and this is absolutely a job for a pair of shears.
Oh, very nice.
And I'm going to start with, let's say we'll do the pectoral fin here on this side. There we go. And then this is the ventral fin, also sometimes called the pelvic fin. We'll go back here and snap off the anal fin. Really? Children. All right. I'm going to trim the tail, the caudal fin,
Yes.
because it's not going to fit on a pan this way.
Mhm.
And then we must deal with the dorsal fin, which, as you can see, contains a nasty array of sharp spikes that would love
Yes.
nothing more than to avenge their owner's demise by impaling your fingers. So do be careful. I typically hold this
Yeah.
with just a side towel or a paper towel, and I cut
Do be
back,
careful when
moving up, so it's
trimming
easier to
any
get
sort of fish
into,
with spikes.
each one of the joints.
It's
of the fin.
not pleasant. Oh,
Nasty
very
stuff.
pokey.
Okay, now flip and just get the other two side fins, being the pectoral on the other side.
I feel like you could probably use the fins to make
Okay,
a
good.
stock
Now,
or something. I don't know.
Even though
I'm not
this fish was
an
weighed at
expert,
the
but
store, I am going to weigh it again.
if you don't want to let
it's
anything
been
go to waste, you know.
trimmed. And I can see we're at 1,160.
Of course, you can also do the same with the head if you don't want to use that.
2 kilos. Now, why do I need to know this? Because I'm going to calculate the amount of building supplies that are required to construct our dome. But first, we stuff. Yeah, I know. I've always said stuffing is evil. That's poultry. Fish are different. Okay, so a few lemon slices. Just get one up into the head here, maybe 5 or 6, and fresh herbs. We're going to go with parsley and tarragon. And that flavor and moisture is going to do a lot here. And it's also going to lift the belly up into a natural position.
Yep, and help
like where it was
more even
before
cooking.
all its guts got ripped out. All right, fine. You wait right here. I'll be
Yeah,
right
you just
back.
gotta
We're
replace
going
the
to
guts.
mix
Don't
our
worry.
mortar. Okay, so, get yourself a calculator. Oh, I need it. My rule of thumb is that I want the weight of the mortar to exceed that of the fish by a factor of 1.5. So,
Okay.
1,161 grams times 1.5. 1740. All right,
Okay.
slightly rounded. Okay, further,
Okay. All
I
right.
want the composure of the mortar to be 85% kosher salt. So that's
Times 0.85.
1,480 grams, okay,
Okay.
which is the same as a 3-pound box, because that's 3 pounds, 1,360 grams plus 120 grams, which I'll easily harvest from any number of salt cellars that I have on hand. Okay, also,
Okay.
for each
Very fun.
pound of salt, I want a tablespoon of dry herbs. In this case,
Uh-huh.
we'll be using oregano, tarragon, and rosemary, because why not? All right. Now, will these herbs contribute
Yeah,
to the
basically
flavor
the
of
same
the
thing you
dish?
stuffed it with.
No,
So
sir, they will not. Not one damn bit. Okay. Once they hydrate and warm, however, they will emit a darned pleasant aroma. And as the
which will
dish
infuse into the
cooks,
fish.
said aroma will permeate the kitchen and cover up any and all fishy smells, which my wife hates so much that she typically forbids fish be cooked inside the house. So think of this as heat-activated potpourri, nothing more. Leave it out.
Plus,
all right.
scent is one of the major parts of eating food. So even if you can't really taste it, it's still going to add to the experience and help out.
So 87 grams. How convenient, since that's exactly the weight of 3 large egg whites. And then is water, 10%. So we'll say 170 grams. Convenient, 6 ounces, or 3/4 of a cup. Okay.
Oh, very nice.
So we get everything else in. Now, I just like to use my hand for this because I actually want to feel how it comes together. Okay. And you'll notice I save out about an ounce of the liquid, because to be honest, every box of kosher salt is different.
Has a
we'll get into why
different bit of moisture absorbed into
I
it.
can see that I'm going to need that. And there we go. When it is correct, it's going to be kind of like, you ever been to the beach? You ever
Like
squeeze some
wet sand?
Or kind of sort of, look, just squeeze it in your hand.
I have in fact done that.
Its shape, but then releases when you poke it.
I'm familiar with the
Good
concept.
to go, and this is good to go. Time to build our platform. We're going to need another half sheet pan, and look, I just happen to have another half sheet pan. By the way, they call them half sheet pans because there is such a thing as a whole sheet pan that's actually the size of 2 of these. Too big for anything in my kitchen, but you see them a lot in restaurants and professional bake shops. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Parchment paper, just going to make cleanup a heck of a lot easier. Okay. I mean, you don't have to have it, but trust me, you want to. So 1/3 of the mortar mixture goes down. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to weigh it. I know you expect me to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to eyeball it. And what we're looking for here is that our platform.
No point to weighing that. Why?
Surrounded.
It's just
by
too much effort for this.
1/2 inch and no more than 3/4. No, it's not true. I don't mind at least 1/2 inch.
Okay, at least 1/2 inch.
Okay, so
Got
just
it.
getting this bed down and make sure that
Very
as much
good.
air is out of that, as possible.
Okay, yeah.
And that
Don't want air bubbles to expand and mess things
about
up.
the right size. You don't have to measure it.
Just as long as you can get it around your fish.
But before the fish goes down, we must apply a wee bit of lube. Let's get my brush here. It's not a lot.
A wee bit of lubrication.
Just enough we want to keep the salt from really adhering, and it's also going to provide a little bit of a barrier against too much interaction between the salt and the fish. The salt is going to season the fish. You don't want to overdo it, and this will just
you don't want it to
things a lot
be
easier.
salt cured.
Just a very, very, very light bit of oil, and I don't care what kind you use. Okay, so this is the side that's now going to go down.
So I guess just use whatever you enjoy the flavor
finagle
of.
this guy over. There, our platform looks good. Maybe could use a little bit more under there. Okay, now we start to add on the top part of the dome, and I usually just do this in like maybe 3 to 4 additions. Get everything down, spread it out.
Yeah, just cover the fish.
It's kind of fun. You can kind of turn things, craft it, really feel it, smooth it, pack it. You don't want any air in there.
Just play with this Play-Doh. You're building a sandcastle.
You've got good adhesion. Don't give it CPR. You break things. But you can put a little bit of pressure on it.
Crush the fish.
There. Now that
I
looks
have
good.
no idea how that sounded for y'all.
We've used all but
I'm so sorry.
A couple of thimblefuls of the mortar. The last thing I want to do here is we want to get this fish to 130 degrees internal temperature, which is not done, but there's going to be enough thermal load here in the salt
It'll be done
for carrying
eventually.
over the heat. So if we bring it to 130 degrees, that means we'll be able to coast up to 150 degrees. Now, my favorite tool for kind of keeping an eye on our thermal destination and how quickly we arrive is a probe-style thermometer. If you do not have a remote probe thermometer, you should have one in your arsenal. Absolutely.
I probably should.
My favorite is just a very little simple model. This is called a DOT. It's made by a company called ThermoWorks. And it's very simple. It only has one outlet for a probe. And the probe that I'm going to be using is a little needle probe. A very skinny little probe, just like a needle, because I just don't really want to go poking a big hole in this fish if I don't have to. And
that is a very, very fair point.
Hide it in there. And I'm going to set this for 130 degrees.
Beep, 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 beep.
130
there we go.
Degrees. And I'm just going to take my finger where I think the head is and reach down and kind of feel over to the end of that hard head plate. Then go about half an inch and insert the needle at about a 45-degree angle headed back towards the back end of the fish. That'll ensure that we're in a nice thick area.
So roughly kind of the thickest part, generally.
Patch around it. It doesn't care. Fish certainly doesn't care. And his eyes are covered now, so he can't look at me with that judgy...
I feel like you probably also could have done that before applying the salt.
Oven is at 450. We cook.
Okay, we begin.
There we go. Now, you want to make sure that you place this in the lower third of your oven and try to get it all the way to the back. We are not going to be turning this during the cook. Just get my my thermometer wired up here. I'll be back.
All right, and now we wait. Ooh.
Now, since we've got a little bit of time on our hands, let's talk about kosher salt. Or more correctly, kosher ring salts, as they're actually named for the koshering process, pulling blood out of meat. Not because they're kosher certified, though many are. Now, kosher salts are traditionally formed either by boiling down seawater that's been left to evaporate in shallow brine ponds,
of course,
or by boiling
obviously
down a brine that's formed by dissolving mined salt in water. All salts, technically,
makes
sea
sense.
salt, as even salt mines in the ground were once sea beds. Now, in any case, when the salt concentration of the brine is high enough, crystals will form on the surface of the pan. If the process is carefully controlled, those crystals will look like this, look like little hollow pyramids. These are called hopper crystals. Okay, now this particular sample is an artisanal salt from England called Malden, where they take
I have seen close-ups of Malden before.
Shapes.
So this is not unfamiliar to me.
Most of the salt in this kitchen is diamond crystal kosher salt, not paid to say so. They also evaporate their crystals into being, but then they crush them for relative uniformity. As you see, the flakes, though small, are still highly irregular, flaky, translucent, and I think
you'd use this more for general seasoning.
Also, easy to pinch between the fingers and sprinkle.
And Malden feels more like a finishing.
On the other hand, now they create their crystals, or so I'm told, through a vacuum process, and then they compact the crystals into flakes, which are opaque and kind of rock-like, and to my taste, unpleasantly hard. You can see them; they look like stones to me.
They are.
Now both
stones.
are sodium chloride. Okay, but very, very different in character in the way they feel and act. This difference also means that any given weight of diamond crystal takes up more space than the same weight of Morton's. If you don't believe me, these are both 3-pound bags. Boxes. They're boxes. End of lecture.
Okay, 35 minutes. Time will vary. Keep that in mind, chat. Lovely, lovely background choice for the music, Mr. Brown. Okay.
And now
it's a very dry
rest. I'm going to let this just
brick
sit and think about
of salt and fish.
for probably about 20 minutes, during which time I expect the
Yeah,
temperature
sounds
is
about right.
going to cruise upward of 155 degrees. There's a good bit of thermal load still in here.
Yeah,
So I'm going to keep an eye
there's
on this. Not that I
probably
can really
a
do
bunch of
anything
heat
about
trapped
it.
in that
You
salt.
can't go in there until, the salt's cooled down enough to, well, you'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay, serrated bread knife.
We're ready. The fish has rested
Is
about 20 minutes,
that's a choice.
and I'm going to note that it peaked out at
Any particular reason that you're going to
158
explain,
degrees
perhaps?
Fahrenheit. Perfectly fine. A little warmer than I might have liked, but I'm not worried about it. All right, so carefully pulling out the probe, extract the probe.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta wash that. Now, I also want to get this trivet.
Yeah, always wash your probes, chat.
And we contemplate the cutting. Now,
I don't know why I keep saying chat. I'm not streaming.
This is serrated net,
Yep,
which was a really
serrated
good
knife.
tool to use. And I used to like take this all off and then take the fish out. So I'm just gonna serve it like this. This is gonna be like finger food. That's how I'm looking at this. So I'm just going to kind of turn it, and I'm gonna pick a line that I think is right at where the fish is kind of cuts back in, and I'm just gonna saw away. And I don't have to saw all the way through. In fact, I don't want to. I just want to get it to
You
the
just kind of want
point
to
where I know
remove
I can
the
crack
top of
it
the dome.
and hopefully remove it in one place. So this is more scoring than anything
Yeah,
else.
just one big chunk.
Here, and then I'll turn it and come up the other way. I see some cracks. The whole point of using the egg white, remember,
Was to
make
bind it
the
all
stone
together.
really set like this.
Yeah.
If you didn't use that, if you decided to just use water, and some people do, then this would just come off in big crumbles. I don't think that makes for a very nice presentation, do you?
No,
So I'm just
no.
going to score around a little more. Salt is still warm, but by no means hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to try to...
Oh. It's moving. It's wiggling.
Someone that works here said the other day, it's like taking off the top of someone's skull. How would you know that? Don't...
You know, great question. How would you know that?
It is like taking off the top of someone's skull. Ha! Never would have known. All right, it didn't break quite as cleanly as I would have liked. I'm gonna have to take off
No.
a couple of pieces. There we go. Now, I kind of like the idea of just bringing it to the table like this, and it's loose. So what I'm going to do is going to brush off some of the extra
Yeah,
salt.
just
It's like
brush
an
away the rest.
archaeological dig. It can be like Indiana Jones. So what do we do at this point? Now, if I wanted to cut off the fillets, I would cut off the fillets. I don't want to cut off the fillets because I want to kind of preserve this.
Yeah, you want the shape
skin.
for presentation.
Do we want to? You know what? I don't want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just cut a line right behind
The
the
head.
gill,
Yeah.
the gill plate, right? We'll kind of push that up so we can see the aromatics. There is amazing meat in here. This is a cheek.
Yeah.
I'll eat that later. And
I was about to comment
just
on
to
the
make
cheek
this
meat
easy on
being
everyone, we'll
quite
cut
good.
down behind that plate.
Supposedly, I've never personally had it.
And I'm just using, you don't have to use a special knife, something relatively narrow and something
Yes.
sharp. I'm going to cut as cleanly as I can down the spine line and feel those bones. Rest assured, no matter what you do in cutting this, you're going to have to watch out for bones. There's no, with a snapper,
Yeah, that's,
any member of this family, in fact, there is no miracle.
One of the
for
worst parts
cutting
about
out
eating
all
fish,
the
really.
bones, no matter how good you are. So you're just going to have to warn people. And if you want to, you can put another incision right down through there. And then I'm just going to try, see what happens. I just cut the skin of the tail and see if I can just kind of peel that off. Dogs kill for this. I could literally throw this into the middle of the living room or the kitchen, and my dogs would fight to the death for that skin. Or you can save it and toast it in your toaster oven.
I'm making it a crispy little
treat.
treats.
A delightful snack.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
being a little finicky here at the back.
I think this is how I prefer it served. I'm
I'll just leave that.
not generally a fan of
Sticky stuff. A lot of connective
soggy,
tissue. A lot
soft
of collagen got broken down.
fish skin.
And I'm going to try to do this
Personally.
here.
But eat it however you like, I suppose.
Bring it to the table just freaking like this. I typically let everybody have a spoon or even just a butter knife and let them kind of scoop it off. As for serving with a sauce, we've concocted a thing here that at Brain Food Industries that we like. I haven't learned it yet. Oh yeah, this is two tablespoons of mirin. 6 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice and 2 teaspoons of Cholula hot sauce. Now, I would tell you that you can use whatever hot sauce you please, but don't. We really think the Cholula is the play. Now, I like to just dip, just tear off pieces and dip, or if you like,
and brush it on top.
I paint that on.
Yeah.
As long as you know everybody wants some, but they're going to want more. There you go. Remember, watch for bones. And of course, when you eat out the top, you'll be able to just simply lift out the skeleton without any problems. Oh, you want to see that part? No. You'll have to tune in for another show. I'm going to take my time with this because I've earned it.
You certainly have, Mr. Brown.
Alton Brown cooks food, and he eats most of it alone.
Well,
it's essential.
Nothing wrong with that.
But you're not going to go till I pull out the skeleton, are you? Okay,
no.
Fine. Look, when you've got all the meat scooped up, and I haven't eaten it all yet, but I'm going to. You just cut away the skin on the other side from the tail. Swim, little fishy, swim. You were good.
Yep.
Okay, go home.
And there's still plenty of delicious meat on that head in case you want to not let anything go to waste. And you can probably use the skeleton for a stock or a broth of some kind after it's been cooked. Of course, the skin can be fried or baked for crispy little morsels or given to dogs as a snack. Whatever you want to do with it if you don't eat it yourself. Anyway, this was very interesting, very educational. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.